Today on Let's Fish TV, guys, we're at Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier in Georgia is loaded with big spotted bass, and that's what we're targeting today. They're in the pre-spawn state of mind, and we're gonna be catching some really big ones. Today is one of those days. You better get your notepad out, you better record this, you better hit that DVR, because this is gonna be an unbelievable show that you're gonna learn a lot of lessons from. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got it.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is located just north of Atlanta, Georgia, and sits just over 38,000 surface area acres. You know, today we're going after spotted bass, and let me tell you guys, this lake has some of the best spotted bass fishing in the entire United States. I mean, I've caught some of the biggest spots that I've ever landed in any lake in the US, using swim bait, shaky heads, and Ned rigs, and hopefully we'll try to catch that 5-pounder that this place is known for. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get the bass cat uncovered, get my Lowrance's hooked up, and get my Mercury fired up. We're gonna get out there in the water, and we'll see y'all here in just a second. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, so great to see you all. Thanks so much for joining us. These lunar tables are predicting fair game fish activity on both days this weekend. Peak morning hours begin around 7:29 on Saturday and 8:18 on Sunday morning. The best evening fishing will begin around 7:54 on Saturday and 8:43 on Sunday evening. Depending on your area, expect the sun to rise around 7:42 and set around 6:43. Evenings will feature a moon that is 30% visible. Stay in the loop with Let's Fish TV's latest fishing adventures and tips by joining us on Facebook and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
You'd think that many fish, they wouldn't have it, like one of them would fire up and hit it. I mean, there's 15 down there, maybe more. Oh yeah, big old spot. Oh, get off that cable. Oh, get off that cable. Oh, he got me on the cable. Did I get him off? No, he still got me on the cable. Come on, baby, I still see you down there. Oh man, come on. I don't know if he's still in there. There we go. That's a big old Lanier spot right there. That's what I'm talking about. Check out the size of this big joker here. Sweet. Oh, come here, baby. Oh, there we go. Look at the tank spot that one is. Whoo, I mean, my line is all chewed up right now. That's crazy. Hook was in there good though. 3.25-inch rage swimmer just going down that wall. I mean, that's a good solid 3.5. I mean, just look how blown out that fish is. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing here at Lake Lanier, and hopefully we'll catch us a few more spots like this. You know, it's been about 6 years since I've been to Lake Lanier, and this place, the last time I was here, I lost kind of count how many 5-pounders. It's been a few years now, but I want to say it was like 3, 4, 5, around that range, 5-pound spotted bass. This place just builds them different. And today, that's what we're gonna be targeting. Try to find one of those giant spotted bass. And we start out the day with a 3.5, 3 3/4 pounder, a really solid one for sure. But I have high expectations for this place. This place had the largest 5 bass stringer that I know of personally, and I might get disputed in the comments, but it had one of the largest 5 bass stringers at 26 pounds. A good friend of mine, Bradley Hallman, caught it in an FLW tour event, the exact same one that I was at. That time of year, it was unbelievable. I have a feeling this time of year, we're gonna absolutely crush them. I think today's gonna set up really well. I hope you learn how to find and catch them on Lanier today. I know we're gonna have a good time. We're just getting started though. Let's get back after it.
Hey folks, it's time for your Carolinas Report. This week brought to you by Crazy System Marina. Come down and let us show you how to live like a local. We've got everything you want to do on the water here. Come down, get a boat, do it yourself. Let one of our captains take you out. Come down, do a paddleboard, kayak, fall. It's incredible down here. So much going on in our body of water here. You can come down and live like a local if you'll visit crazysystemmarina.com and book your trip today. Down in South Carolina, let's go over to C&T Cooper and talk to our good buddy Captain Joseph Dennis, who told me that the striper bite has started really picking up over there. He's having a lot of success in the diversion canal and out in some top secret places out on both Lake Moultrie and Lake Marion. Get out with some good live baits. You can find some nice stripers on your lake as well this time of the year. This has been your Carolinas Report brought to you by Crazy System Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
There we go. Feels like a nice one. Ooh, we got some big old waves coming. Oh, that feels like a really good one. Oh, it is a really good one. Oh my gosh. Come here, fish. Oh, there we go. That's one of those tank Lanier spots right there. God, he slacklined it. I don't even know if I can get there. There we go. Wow, look at the size of that one. Another beautiful Lanier spotted bass. I mean, he's got a big old belly on him. Goodness gracious. So what we're doing today is we're fishing Lake Lanier in Georgia. And this is what this place is known for. We're gonna break down the bite today. We're gonna talk to you how we caught them and what we're catching them on. But goodness gracious, I mean, just a big meatball. God. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk a little bit more about Lanier and how we're catching them. Today on Lanier, what we're doing is we're actually targeting suspended fish and not using our electronics, not using active target really. But along these walls, there's a bunch of big cables that run out. And all these big marinas here that have a bunch of cables. And when all I'm doing is literally taking a 3/16 ounce ball head and a Strike King Rage Swimmer, 3.25 inch in size. And basically all I'm doing is casting it around these cables and reeling it. I bet it's not 5 foot, 7 foot under the water. I'm not looking at them. I'm not doing any of that stuff. We got a little breeze blowing in and that's all you need to trigger these fish to bite. And we've caught a couple now. They've slacklined it both times. We're obviously throwing the right size bait, the right size line. Everything's right now as hard as they're hitting it. And when you start talking those big Lanier spots, when you dial them in, you're about to have a great day. So we're gonna get back to it. The fish are biting here at Lake Lanier, and I can't wait to see if we can catch us a 5-pounder. We're getting really close. I'm telling you, we're real close. Let's see what happens next.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Tie One On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
Oh my gosh, what do I got? Dude, I think I got a really big one. Oh, it is a really big one. I hadn't really caught up with him yet. Oh, it's another good one. Oh, stay off that cable. I know you're near it. There we go. Oh, heck yeah. Another nice one. Woo, here we go. It's not really the best way to land them, but sometimes you gotta improvise. There we go. That's a nice 2.5, 2 3/4 pounder right there. But you know, today guys, it's all about keeping your mind open. We did a bunch of stuff to start the day, fished some points, ran some docks, stuff like that. And the one thing that I've always known about this place and any place that has a lot of big spotted bass is that you have to keep an open mind and you have to be willing to change throughout the day because somewhere they are biting. And I can promise you that I've been to enough spotted bass fisheries in my life that they're always biting somewhere, they're always biting something. So if you're in an area that they're not biting in, you need to change what you're doing, whether it be change your bait, change your location, change your depth. And that's what we've done today. And the other big key is having the right equipment. You know, this is a 5XD rod. This is a crankbait rod, and a lot of people look at it and they're like, well, I'm just gonna throw a 5XD on it. But that is not the case. Like in this situation, I'm throwing that jig head with the Rage Swimmer, and the 5XD rod is the perfect rod for throwing that particular jig head and swim bait. Now, I wouldn't want to necessarily throw a really small swim bait on it, but that 3.25 inch Rage Swimmer is perfect. And using the right speed reel, this is a 6:2-to-1 gear ratio, custom pro, and 10-pound test fluorocarbon. Anytime I'm reeling a swim bait, I'm always throwing 10-pound test. Now, I have gone to some extreme circumstances where I've been on insanely clear bodies of water when the wind's blowing, or not blowing, and I've gone down to 6-pound test. But for this particular application, you need a little bit heavier line because of all these giant cables running everywhere. Because just like that 4-pounder I caught earlier, it can get you tangled up and you can have a real bad day really fast. But the fishing's heating up. I'm gonna get back to it, dude. I'm having way too much fun. We're gonna catch us a few more before the end of the day. There's no doubt about it.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment is brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my website at uglyfishing.com. You can book online as well as some money-saving opportunities on the homepage with Salt's Gone. LureNet.com and Pure Flats Fishing created the slick lure. Hey, along the Alabama Gulf Coast, everything is wide open. Speckled trout, redfish, flounder. Have not targeted many sheep's head, but I would imagine if you located a school of sheep's head right now, they'd be chewing the rod tips off as well. Redfish are still cruising along these channel ledges, as well as any of the submerged vegetation that you can find around the Alabama area. Throwing soft plastics like the Little Slick in the cracked pepper color, Slick Junior in the cracked pepper, Little Slick in the lemon. Along the Mississippi Gulf Coast, talked to Andrew Whitman, Black Dot Charters. He said the speckled trout bite is really starting to heat up good along the Mississippi coast. He said live shrimp under a cork and on the bottom is producing a lot of speckled trout as well as some redfish and puppy drum. He said he anticipates their bite around that Biloxi area really firing off after this little bit of cool weather we're having, and that's gonna just really stimulate some good activity. I haven't heard much from our Georgia boys. Our thoughts and prayers still going out to them, and along the all of that damage from the last couple of hurricanes. Y'all keep them in your thoughts and prayers. If you are getting out on the Georgia coast, I hope you're having a great time, and hopefully we'll have you a good solid report here coming next week. Y'all remember to only keep what you need, leave the rest, and God bless, guys.
Oh, heck yeah. Oh my gosh, what do I got? Dude, I think I got a really big one. Oh, it is a really big one. Wow. Stay on there, baby. Wow. Oh, he can't even jump. Come here, come here, come here, come here. What? No way. Another tank spot right there. Goodness gracious. Look how fat that joker is. Dang, holy cow. This thing is absolutely so thick, man. The Lanier spots are just built so different than anywhere else. I mean, honestly, these spots are some of the fattest and biggest spots you're ever gonna catch. And right now we're dialed into the big ones. Let's get this fish back. You know, our average right now is over 3.5 pounds. There's not many places in this country that you can catch a 3.5 pound average of spotted bass, not largemouth spots. Fish are gonna start migrating into the creeks, and not like really big creeks, but like the mouths of the creeks, small pockets, short pockets around docks and big rocks. But this is the time of year that you're gonna catch one of those really, really big spotted bass. And that's why we're here today, is because this is my favorite time of year to fish Lanier. And I really believe that you can catch a 5 or 6 pounder, and we might see one today. There's not a doubt in my mind that we could catch one. A couple of different other bait offerings that you could throw is maybe a shaky head with a 5-inch filler worm. That's our new size. A Ned rig using that Ned Ocho, or a wacky rigged Ocho is another great option. So as those fish push in, the more the soft plastics come into play, and the more I'm gonna start putting that swim bait down. But as of right now, I'm not putting this swim bait down for the rest of the day. We're gonna smack them on this 3.25.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Loran's, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion.
It's really important when you get these really big fish like this one to really try to control the narrative the best you can. Oh my gosh. Tank spot. Get him away from them cables if I can. I made like 3 cranks on that thing and he just clobbered it. Oh, come back. Come back. Oh, he can't even jump out of the water. See, a lot of times with these reels, you'll hear me click it. And what I'm doing is I'm actually controlling the drag with my thumb. I'm what they call thumbing it. So if he needs to take a little line, I'm not worried as much about my drag as I am about just letting him take a little bit of line, but still controlling the action. It's really important when you get these really big fish like this one to really try to control the narrative the best you can. I mean, I'm having to take my time, guys. It's a really big one. For a spotted bass, this is a tank. There we go. Look at the size of that one. Holy cow. He wrecked it. That's a really big one. It's a 4 something. I had him hooked really good. Goodness gracious. That's a solid 4 pounder there, maybe a 4.5 even. I mean, and you honestly, as he's not super long, like, and that's where a lot of people will be like, oh man, that's not a 4 something. But this fish right here is about 19 to 20 inches long. But if you can see this belly, I mean, it's as wide as almost the ends of my fingers. I mean, it is one of those gargantuan spots. This is what I was looking for, guys. I was looking for one of these really big ones before the end of the day. My goodness, what an awesome fish. Let's get this fish back. It's healthy. Whew, heart stopping when you catch one like that. So I made a little change, and I think that is why I started catching them again. You know, I was using an open hook jig head, and don't get me wrong, when you're fishing these cables, you can use an open hook jig head as long as the cable is far enough from the water. Well, where we're at currently, the cables are really flat, they're coming out. And so almost every cast I'll snag it up. Every cast. It's like, come on now. Like, and I knew if I could just keep that swim bait in the water, I'd catch them. Well, I'd actually switch to a weedless swim bait. This is a little jig head that I found not too long ago. It's got just a regular single, I want to say it's some kind of wire weed guard on it. And what this allows you to do is roll it over those cables. Still the same exact swim bait. Change rods up, but only because I didn't have another one of those. This is just a Magnum hammer with a 6:2-to-1 gear ratio reel. This is the BB1 Pro with 10-pound line, just like the other one. But in this situation, I just changed it up just a little bit. So now I have a non-weedless and a weedless version of the exact same bait. And what this allows me to do is fish a little bit thicker stuff, what we call the thicker stuff, the more cabled area with the jig head, whereas on the open areas, I can use the open hook. And I like an open hook now, I will say that. Sometimes you're gonna miss them with that weed guard because you got to set the hook a little bit harder, but in case one of those catch you off guard. But an open hook is obviously the one that I prefer 99% of the time, just because you get the hook set almost every single time. But guys, this lake is just on fire. I mean, I don't even know how many big ones we've caught today. I haven't been here in over 6 years and we're still catching big ones. It just goes to show you this place is still as good as it was even then. But we're gonna talk about one more thing though, and that is boating safety. You know, we don't talk about it enough, and I think it needs to be stressed. If you're out on the water, one of the most important things to have is your kill switch attached and a life jacket on. You know, I fall victim from time to time to not wear my life jacket, and every once in a while I need to even remind myself that if you're operating that vessel, with that big engine, the big Mercury especially. I mean, you're talking a 250 horsepower motor that Mercury is. It's a great and smart idea to wear your life jacket, wear that kill switch. Might save you the next time you're on the water. But I'm gonna get back to it. Fishing is just, I mean, it's on fire. There we go. God, he was all the way out here. Is that a big one? Oh, no, that's a little baby one. It's all good in comparison to what we've been catching, but God, he's all blown out. Look at that. Perfect, right in the top of the head. Not a big fish. I mean, pound and a half probably. To give you an example, what I'm doing is I'm casting that jig head out there and I'm letting it go down a couple seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, and then I'm just really slow cranking it. And when you get over a cable, your line will start lifting, you'll feel a little bit of tension, and you'll know you're over a cable, and then you just kind of lift your rod and let it bounce over there. And a lot of times when you bounce over that cable is when that fish is gonna strike. But guys, today has been phenomenal. We've caught so many nice fish today. Lake Lanier is absolutely loaded with big spotted bass. I cannot wait to come back. We're gonna head into the boat ramp. We're gonna get everything set up, and we're gonna talk about exactly how we caught them, how we adjusted throughout the day. I'll talk about how we didn't catch them early in the day, and we'll talk about how we made the adjustments and why we made the adjustments here in just a minute. So we'll see y'all back at the boat ramp.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Powerful Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits. Here's today's Right Stuff presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
All right guys, today was all about the swim bait. Well, we used it in 2 different methods to catch our fish at Lake Lanier. The very first way we were fishing it was a 3.25-inch Strike King Rage Swimmer. This is the Ghost Shad color. I was fishing on a 3/16-ounce ball head, a really small, lightweight ball head, 10-pound Strike King Contra fluorocarbon, and a 5XD rod. This 5XD rod is a crankbait rod, but it is 7.5 foot long, and it is absolutely perfect for catching them on a swim bait. The reel was a 6.2-to-1 Custom Pro. This is a really slower action reel, but it's so necessary when fishing that swim bait. When we're fishing those cables, the ones that were a little bit deeper, I was turning to that open hook. Now as the day progressed, the fish got tighter and tighter to the cover, and that's when I went to a weedless version of still a 3/16-ounce jig head, but it had a little weed guard on it. It's still that 3.25-inch Rage Swimmer by Strike King, 10-pound Contra. I changed up rods a little bit. This is just a 7.3 Magnum hammer. It's got a little bit stronger tip to it so I could set the hook, because you got to set the hook on this one. But I was using a BB1 Pro. This is still a 6.2-to-1 gear ratio, a slower gear ratio, so I could keep it really slow through the cover. Guys, today was all about making adjustments. We started out the day throwing shaky heads, throwing Ned rigs, throwing jerk baits up against the bank. And as the day progressed, we weren't getting bites. And that's all about making the right adjustment and changing up. Because when you get to a body of water, it's not always gonna be what you expect it to be. And today was one of those examples. But guys, I hope y'all learned how to find and catch them here on Lake Lanier. It's one of my favorite spotted bass fisheries in the entire United States. If you get a chance, you need to come check it out. But guys, until next time, I'll see you on the water.